Welcome to the Devil's Island Podcast, broadcasting from the east end of Long Island. Whether you're in New Jersey or somewhere around the world, as a Devils fan, you may feel like a castaway. Well, Devils fanatics, join us, because you can always feel at home here on Devil's Island. And now, here is your host, Chris Suswal.
Hey, fellow castaways, you're on Devil's Island, and it seems to be the same old story. The Devils lose 3-1 against the Islanders, and now we head into the Olympic break with not a lot of hope for the playoffs and only a few things to keep an eye on. The Devils would need to basically go 20-5 in their last 25 games to get a playoff spot. We'll see if they make any kind of push towards that, but if you look at this game, it's basically a microcosm of the entire season. The Devils play a close game. They play well defensively. They get decent goaltending, but they don't score on the power play, and they don't score much at all. Nico Hischier has a tying goal, and it's 1-1 going into the third period. And with only 5 minutes left, off the faceoff, Kovacevic can't handle the puck. Horvat comes in and scores. And there you have it. After an empty netter, it's all said and done. And the Islanders look like an up-and-coming team where they are right in the playoff mix, holding on to that third spot in the Metro, and the Devils are now just lagging behind. After that stretch where they won 5 out of 6 games, including some impressive wins on the road, they come back home and just can't get it done. And every single press conference afterwards, all the interviews of the players and Coach Keefe, they basically say the same thing. We gave ourselves a chance to win, and we just couldn't get it done. And now we look on to the next thing. And the next thing right now is a 2.5-week break where the players not named Nico Hischier and Jack Hughes and others will have some time to heal up their bodies, take a rest. The schedule in the NHL has been brutal with the Olympics this year, and the need to consolidate and have a lot of back-to-backs, a lot of bunched-up scheduling, not a lot of time to practice. But other teams have found their way into the playoff mix, and the Devils are just not one of those teams right now, and it's incredibly frustrating. Going into the season, the Devils and their fans thought that this could be the year where the Devils turn the page and go on the upswing. They had early on winning an 8-game winning streak, and now with all the injuries, all the lineup changes, the Devils they look tired, they look lost, they look frustrated. At times they look mentally checked out. And we'll have some coverage of the Olympics and the Devils players that are in there over the course of the next couple of weeks. But after that, it's really looking at who are the players that the Devils are going to keep. Are they going to make management changes, whether that's coaching or the GM? And what's going to happen at the trade deadline? We've already seen a couple moves with Palat getting shipped out for Siplikov. We saw a minor deal where the Devils brought in Nick Bukestad, and there might need to be some bigger changes ahead. Dougie Hamilton has been rumored for months now to go somewhere after he had a healthy scratch, went on a 10-game point streak. He's certainly can add value to a contender that could handle his $9 million salary, but the Devils are going to need to make some wholesale changes as this core is just not performing. Jesper Bratt is having an off year, and I feel bad for Nico Hischier. Played through some tough stretches where he was injured. Most recently, he was feeling sick and missed a practice, but didn't miss a game. And he's scored a couple big goals here and there. He's got 19 on the year and plays well defensively and shows up every night. And we hope that that leadership can translate into some of these new players that are coming in. Another bright spot is Lenny Hamanaho, who has come in from Utica, NHL ready, and has shown some promise. Arseny Gritsuk has been named one of the up-and-comers of the NHL after his stints in the KHL and now coming to the Devils. He'll be a restricted free agent at the end of the year, and the Devils have to keep him. So we'll see what other kind of changes can come about. But from a fan perspective, this is really tough to take. When you looked at the schedule and you said, oh, well, you know, there's 10, 15 games left before the break. If the Devils can have a winning record in there, they'll just be in the mix. The East is wide open. Teams are winning and losing. The Flyers will lose 6 in a row, but then win 3 in a row. The Capitals are now making a push. And in the meantime, the Sabres and the Bruins just keep winning. So it's just a real shame that the Devils can't be in this conversation with just getting in the playoffs, because everybody knows, look at the LA Kings years back. They had the 8th seed and went all the way on to win the Stanley Cup. You have to qualify for the playoffs to make it happen. And it's going to be also tough for the fans to go to games and know that with this losing, that there's just not going to be a lot of meaningful games. But like I said, we'll have to look to some of these younger players, maybe some additional call-ups from Utica, and maybe some trades where the Devils can refresh the roster somewhat, as they're going to have to go into a major retool and really assess what they're going to do going into the draft. And now we could also start looking at the lottery balls that are going to come out of the machine, because the Devils are going to be in the mix for a high pick as it currently stands. So really tough to stomach this past stretch where the Devils have lost 5 out of 6 now, and every single game has just been a 1-goal game going into the third period or tied, and no results. And as Coach Keefe said, they're just not getting rewarded for the effort. They're playing better defensively, but they just cannot put the puck in the net. And something is really wrong with this team. It's been a lot of stages of up and down emotionally for fans, and I'm sure it has been for the players and the staff, the network, the MSG network that covers the team. It's all just been a mess of late, a roller coaster ride. And this is what being a fan is all about, sticking with the team through thick and thin. And it's really lean times right now. We're going to have to focus on some bright spots and see what changes can be made for the Devils to get back to where they were just even a couple years ago. And all I could say is keep your eye on the Olympics. We'll have some reports on how all the different countries are doing, and the Devils players themselves as they have the quest for the gold in Milan. But now we at least have a chance as fans to not worry about a game on the schedule, watching the game and feeling like we feel right now, because we need a break too. So, fellow castaways, until next time, keep your fire burning. Let's go Devils.